Okay, thank you very much for joining the East Springfield Neighborhood Council Board meeting on October 5th, 2021. We appreciate you signing in with us today. Let's start this meeting as we do all of our meetings with a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Again, welcome, and we do want to again acknowledge that we do really appreciate our volunteers. Some volunteers you have in front of you today, some are on the Zoom meeting with us, and there are many other volunteers out there within the community that help us do what we do. But we can always use a few more volunteers. We're interested in, right now, we could use some volunteers who are interested in photography. We're hoping to do a historical survey of East Springfield. So we're looking for 3 or 4 or more people who would like to spend 3 or 4 or more hours with us, taking some pictures of some houses that have historical significance. So if you are willing and interested, please contact us, contact@myesnc.com. And we would be glad to hook you in. We're hoping to do a photograph day, a portion of a day at the end of October or early November, because at that point, many of the leaves will be off the trees, and we'll be able to, by taking a picture, get a really good portrayal of what the historical value is of each of these buildings. Thank you. Okay. So let us know. Okay, we do have a variety of topics tonight. It's a little fuzzy, but we do have a quorum. I'm here. Marie's here. Lynn. Brenda is going to be dialing in with us, and Peggy is excused. Farah is with us. We also have with us Irene, John Koski, Isaiah is with us, David Russo is with us, and Angie is signed in with us on Zoom. And again, thank you to the people from the community who have joined us. As I usually start out the meetings, I want to remind you that 311 is our tool to help protect, improve, and preserve the quality of life in our neighborhood. So if you have a question or if you have an issue, your first call, unless it's a 911 call, should be to 311 to bring it to the attention of the city, and they will send it along to the appropriate agencies. If you find that you've called some things in and you're wondering what the status is, pick up that phone again and call 311 and ask them for the status of your concern. If you still have some issues, give us a call or connect with us, and we'll try to help navigate that for you. This new meeting format started in July. We're really hoping soon, although I don't know when that will be, to be meeting in person with everyone. But we are planning and for the time that can happen. I did also notice today, I got notification that the Eastville Mall is going to be having some more appointments for COVID vaccines. If anybody is interested in using that as an avenue to get a booster, if that's what you're intending to do, you can sign up online. Any questions so far? Comments?
Is that only the Pfizer? It's only
Right
the
now,
Pfizer, though.
right now, it's only the Pfizer, correct. That is correct. I want to remind everyone that the federal government funding to the city for job creation, economic development, capital improvements, assistance to businesses, assistance to seniors and our neighborhoods and housing. The city is looking for ideas. They want to make sure they have every idea that will move us forward. If you want to send along to the city an idea, email it to T Moore, that's in Thomas More, T Moore @springfieldcityhall.com. And then your ideas will be included in the array of possibilities. a reminder that the neighborhood council did meet with the mayor and for about an hour, about 3 weeks ago, and went through a whole long list of topics that we felt were appropriate based on what some of us felt and also from the comments that we had received from the community. The Community Preservation Act project for the basketball courts at Angelina has started. I do not know if it's been paved yet, although,
I believe so.
okay, Lynn is shaking her head. Thank you. Lynn lives in that direction. So now that it is paved, they will be working on the other amenities around that. And I believe that was about a $206,000. Yes, the federal government money is the same as the ARPA, yes. And that's about a $206,000 project. So we're excited about that. And I expect that there will be a ribbon cutting ceremony fairly soon. In addition to the ARPA money, we're looking at some infrastructure money that will be coming down the pike probably in 3 weeks, but that we have no guidance or guidelines on yet. But I'm told that it should be coming down for infrastructure.
Yeah, all the trucks are out of there, so I'm assuming everything is done.
Okay, zoning and land use. I think we've mentioned most of these at previous meetings, but I will do a quick summary. The marijuana host community agreements are in the process of being negotiated with the mayor, and that's the host agreement for Cottage Street and for 299 Page Boulevard. And also 311 Page, which is the recreational marijuana facility that was approved last round. It is planning to open in March of 2022. I had a fairly lengthy conversation just yesterday, day before yesterday, with Tim Rook, who is the owner of that project. So that's been a while getting going. We should either in the fall, like now, or very early in the spring, see some asphalting going in so that their parking lot is more appropriate. And then right now they are actually, they filed their building permit and they are doing the interior so that they have the appropriate facilities inside.
That's the cultivation.
No, this is 311. This is the Tim Rook project that was approved 2 years ago. The cultivation is 299. That's
Oh,
the
I'm
one
sorry,
behind. Yep,
okay.
and that one, the 299 and the one on Cottage Street still has to get through the mayor's office, and then it has to have a special permit. So they will be back in
Right.
touch with us for that. But thank you for clarifying
Yeah.
that. It's hard to keep track of them all.
I know.
So do you answer this one?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think she did.
Just the timing, I guess Deb is saying, Tim
Yeah,
Rook says
March
March.
2022. Yep. I think it might very well be around St. Patrick's Day.
All right, and we answered the thing about 299 and the marijuana.
Well, she's saying, what is this about 299?
Hey,
299 is in the process of negotiating a host community agreement. And once that's done, and once any, from reading in the newspaper and from some consultation, they are having a couple of other inquiries. But once all that gets ironed out, if it does, then they will be coming to us for a special permit.
Okay, she's good.
Yep.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
All set.
Okay,
Very good.
thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Poor Brook, that's the area behind Mary Mother of Hope Church. In June, we discovered that there was some gray water, i.e. dirty water, running down through Poor Brook. So we've been in pretty constant contact with the Sprinkle Water and Sewer, the DEP, and the city's Conservation Commission since then. We're awaiting our October communication from the DEP to see if they've managed to acquire some funding so that they can do some deeper looking at that project or that problem. We are believing that it's not going to be an easy discovery to determine where that is coming from. I'm waiting now for a request that I put in that is forthcoming for a map from the city of Springfield that will show us all of the waterways that lead into the Poor Brook area so that we and the city and the DEP can kind of trace it back to hopefully the origin, and then come up with some kind of a mitigation situation. The Suboxone proposal for Cottage Street, that,
You don't know.
no, Deborah's asking if any properties on septic. There are no properties on septic. And the water and sewer did go back and looked into every single sewer pipe to be sure that it wasn't a simple fix with a broken sewer pipe. Okay. Let me go back to this. Any questions from the board? Any comments?
No.
Thank you. The Suboxone proposal for Cottage Street, it was voted down by the city council, as most of us are aware. But unfortunately, another city department gave them permission to open. We are awaiting more information on that. I have on the screen here that we are very disappointed. I think I'd like to change that to I am outraged.
That's right.
I am absolutely outraged. So we have to get some more clarity, but one department, i.e. the city council, says you can't do it, you need a special permit, we're not gonna give you a special permit. Another city department says, no, go ahead. So,
The
thank
question
you,
is,
Dave.
What department?
what
The
department?
building department,
It's a building department.
it was the building department, correct?
And I believe that was in concert with the city legal department, correct? Or is that not?
I
correct?
think we're trying to work that out.
Oh, we're trying to work it out, okay.
Thank you. Okay. Any questions or comments? All right, I'll keep everybody as informed as we can. The special permit request for 1635 Page Boulevard for Danny Hanoush for that waste transfer station will go to city council in a couple of weeks, in October, I think it's 15th, I think. I have to check the date on that, but it's a special hearings night. We have been in touch with the planning department along with a list of the conditions that we've talked about and that Danny Hanoush has agreed to. We're still working out a couple of fine details, but we should be in pretty good shape for that. And Duck Pack from East Long Meadow has been in communication with us and with the city, as we've stated before, for a TIF, which is a tax incentive program. We've reviewed some of the TIF requirements, and we've taken a look at the TIF conditions that are still being negotiated with the city, and we'll let you know how that goes. Okay, the plaza. We usually say we've been meeting with the plaza every month. We've continued to do that, but their plaza is actually in foreclosure, in a foreclosure auction on October 14th at noontime. So there's nothing else we can really say about the plaza right now until we see what happens at that auction. The project, the amount of money that is owed to the bank from the foreclosure is millions and millions of dollars. So the bank may end up auctioning it off to somebody, or they may end up just holding on to that property if those auction figures don't meet their needs or requirements. Traffic. Page Boulevard at Bircham Street, the traffic study should be starting within the next couple of weeks. It's intended to be completed this fall. And we know, John Reed, the whole team knows that this is an extremely dangerous corner. We do believe that the traffic goes too fast. We do believe that maybe single lanes are necessary there, some additional markings, some additional traffic calming devices, some possible lights. So once this traffic study moves forward, we'll be able to have more input into that. It's the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission that is doing some of that traffic study. The final part under traffic is the Mass DOT, the St. James Avenue, Crew Street, St. James Boulevard, has reviewed the project. They've sent back to anybody or most people who have commented their written comments on the comments. And I do know that everybody should have received that. If you signed a letter, you should have received something back. I've only seen some of the responses. Deborah's asking what's our take on the responses. I have not seen all the responses. The only responses I see is if somebody sends me their response. But I do know that a couple of people who did send in letters are not as happy as they could be. I mean, we are disappointed that the response came back to us that the sidewalks on Hobart Street are not going to be a part of the project. It's outside of the scope. That disappoints us. In response to that, I've had a communication with the city of Springfield and suggested that they include that into a separate project, but run it tandem with the build out of the St. James Avenue, Cruise Street, St. James Boulevard project. So other than that, I don't have any other comment or any other thought. Okay. Any questions or comments? Anybody? Okay. The Springfield Cultural Arts Grant has been submitted. Thank you very much, Irene, for doing the lion's share of the work on getting that together. We did some brainstorming, and then Irene did her magic with her word crafting, and we did get that in well before the deadline. So we're delighted about that. And we're looking forward to hopefully getting funded, because it is a competitive grant, and we are hoping to have some pretty interesting activities as next year comes. Okay. John, did you want to address this?
Oh, this, I'm sorry, I'm playing with comments. There was Deb just wanted to pass along a thank you for the work that was done to get that grant, specifically to Irene.
Irene deserves a thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, so we did have a check your speed event last Wednesday, again on Page Boulevard near the Bircham Street intersection. Again, another very successful day. We had 2 police officers. They were conducting speed checks in both directions on Page Boulevard, and they stayed probably busier than we've seen them. Whether they worked more efficiently or whatever, but they were continually pulling vehicles over. And I have to say, on a personal note, it was I especially appreciated a couple of stops that they made where we had drivers that were driving side by side on one occasion, who, when they saw us standing there, decided they were going to race, and both of them just jumped on it and tore off down the street while looking at us to kind of see our expression. But they were quickly stopped when they saw the police officers step out in the street. And that can't always happen because the officer's not always there. He may already have somebody pulled over, or maybe there are other cars in front of them, so they don't get a clear speed check. But this one was, they were out in front of the pack, and they got nailed. And it was, I don't like to see people get tickets, but you know, we're just trying to do something out there just to ask people to slow down. And when you see that kind of behavior, it kind of gets your ire. So it was good to see them stop. And there was another stop made where there were clearly 2 people that were racing each other on the street. And again, they were in front of the pack, and they were racing. They were going to beat the band, and they got stopped. So those were 2 stops that I was happy to see happen. But hopefully, with us being in that spot once a month, about the same time of the day and everything, people are getting the message. So we will schedule another check your speed event for October. We don't have the date yet, but we will schedule one more before we finish up the season. And I know I'm giving a very wordy report, but I also want to make note that the Traffic Bureau, under the guidance of Lieutenant Martin, has been excellent to work with this year in getting Traffic Bureau support of our activities. All I do is place one request, and they are on it, and they are there, and they're really happy to work with us. They want to be there. So this year has been especially easy scheduling the event, getting the support, getting the officers there, and having them work with us. It's been excellent. So I know the traffic bureau isn't on this Zoom meeting, but a big thank you goes out to them. And we personally and publicly thank the traffic bureau for their help this year. So that's it for,
Okay, thank you very much,
Yeah.
John. I appreciate it. And thank you for taking the leadership on doing these checker speeds. And point of information, there is a portable speed board on Cruise Street right now.
oh, very good,
So,
very good.
and it's been my observation that cars are tootling down that street pretty heavy.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, would be, because I go right by it,
Yeah.
so, the tree where it is, it's kind of where it's blocked, where you can't see what your speed is as you're going down, so they might have wanted to put it a little bit further down.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Thank
Yeah.
you, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Are there any questions from the people who've zoomed in with us tonight? Julie? No? Bob?
I don't see any hands.
I don't see any hands.
Yes.
Anybody? Going once, going twice.
Very good.
All right. Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks at 6:30 for our police and board meeting. And I've been yelling so loud, I could use a drink of water. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to close the meeting. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.